Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. Happy Thursday to everyone. Let's get into our show. Good morning to everyone. Let's see. Shirley Terry, good morning. Good morning. Hey Rose, my top flight is in the building. Good morning. Janet Driscoll is here. Kimberly Williams is here. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Felicia BW is here. Marion's Favorites is here. Kim Jones is here. Stacy Lane is here. Reba 0616 is in the building. Everyone is still coming in. Hey, Denise Slay, I see you coming in. Brenda Hunt, good morning. Good morning. Say good morning, gorgeous. Good morning. Thank you. Katrina Taylor, good morning, ma'am. Good morning. I see you guys still pouring in the bushes as well as in the chat. Hey, Sheila Washington, good morning. Good morning. Charlene McCulley, good morning, ma'am. Good morning. D Nice is in the building. Good morning, D Nice. I see my other top flight is in the building and flew in with the cape on. Tiffany is here. Thanks for being here, ma'am. Cheryl Williams again. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Playtime. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys, because I am going to have to get out of here. I can't be on here too long this morning. So let's go ahead and get through our show. All right, of course, everything said in the video is alleged and is used for fair use and entertainment. Hey, D Nice. Hey, April RN Virgo. Thanks for being here, dear. All right, and everyone that came by today. All right, happy Thursday. Let's jump on in. We don't have any political news this morning. We're going to jump right into the mess. We're going to be looking at some court documents as well here at the end of the show. So you guys be patient with me on that. But let's get into it. Let's get into this update on this R&B singer, pop singer David. This case, there are some new developments. We've been talking about it. So any updates, we have to get out there, okay? According to Hollywood Unlocked, the cause of unaliving, let me put my trigger up for this child. And y'all forgive me, I'm still waking up too. I'm so tired this morning. I did not sleep good last night. I went to bed with a headache. Oh my God. I did not sleep good at all. But probably sinuses or allergies or something. I don't know. Child, we're gonna get through it. Okay, so according to Hollywood Unlocked, the cause of death revealed for Celeste Rivers Hernandez following the singer's David arrest is as follows. Okay. Celeste Rivers Hernandez, the young woman tragically discovered dismembered in a Tesla owned by musician David last year, passed away from multiple penetrating injuries per the medical examiner's report released on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Okay. Now, the report states that the cause and manner of the unaliving for Celeste were classified as multiple penetrating injuries caused by objects. So it looks like she was stabbed to death. It looks like. I told you I felt like she was sacrificed. Now, the authorities ruled her death as a homicide. Additionally, the findings indicated there were presumptive positives for benzodiazepines and meta something. Okay, methamphetamines. Okay. MDMA, all right, in her system. Child, y'all know these long doctor words. I can't. So David was hit with first-degree unaliving charges in connection with the teen's death on this past Monday. They're saying that he could be looking at the death penalty, you guys, for this particular crime. If so, he is in segregated population. They're saying in prison. He's not with everyone else because of this case. Y'all know this is a very viral case. It's all over the place. So for his protection, and they want him to stand trial so nobody will unalive him. He is in protective custody as of this point. All right, let's move along. I'm gonna keep my trigger up for this one as well. All right. Disturbing news from Memphis. For those of you that live in Memphis, you probably saw this on your news there. According to Neighborhood Talk, remains of 3 children between the ages 3 and 7 are found in a Memphis field. Skulls and additional bones found in a nearby drainage system. What in the world is going on? Now, the other day, we just talked about 8 children where their father unalived them. One of the children had to climb on top of the roof to get away from this egregious act that his father, because he pow-powed all 8 children. And also the mother, who is still clinging to life in the hospital. But then I wake up this morning and I see 3 children, ages 3 through 7, are found unalived in Memphis. Let's see what the news is saying, and then we'll do our commentary on the back end.
It's a planned and coordinated search operation associated with an ongoing investigation that began in early March, where human remains were found in a heavily vegetated area near Ridgeway and Ridge Meadow Parkway. It's very close in proximity to where we are right now. At this time, there is no indication of any active threat to our public. Let me make that clear before I go on. This search operation involves approximately 170 personnel led by the Memphis Police Department's Homicide Unit and is being conducted in collaboration with the Medical Examiner's Office with assistance from our federal, state, and local partners. Those agencies include the FBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, the Memphis Fire Department, the Shelby County Sheriff's Office, Search and Rescue, and the Shelby County Homeland Security Emergency Management. At this time, I want to talk to you through the facts as we know them right now. This investigation began on March 8, 2026, when officers responded to a suspicious person call in the 3400 block of Ridge Meadow Parkway. An anonymous caller reported a possible human skull near a wooded area. Responding officers located what appeared to be a human skull at the edge of the woods. Due to the limited lighting conditions at that time, a more extensive search was scheduled for the following day. On March 9th, officers and personnel from the Medical Examiner's Office returned to continue the search. On March 10th, investigators, along with the Medical Examiner's Office and Shelby County Search and Rescue, conducted a more thorough canvass of the area. During that search, cadaver canine units alerted to a nearby drainage pipe, indicating the possible presence of additional human remains. On March 16th, investigators worked with the City of Memphis Drain Maintenance Division to inspect that drainage system. A camera system was used to examine the interior of the pipes based on those prior canine alerts. On April 1st, investigators assessed the drainage system from a nearby location and located what appeared to be an additional skull. On April 2nd, search teams conducted another coordinated canvass of the area, which resulted in the recovery of 14 additional bones consistent with human remains. At this time, based on the remains recovered and the initial analysis by the Medical Examiner's Office, we could confirm that the remains are believed to be those of 3 individuals estimated to be between the ages of 3 and 7.
All right, so y'all hear that? I always hate to report stuff like this, but according to the Memphis Police Department, the investigation began on March 8th after a woman walking her dog found what she believed to be a human skull. Officers responded and initiated a search in the area, which would unfold other several weeks and lead to additional discoveries. Now, a K9 unit alerted officers to a nearby drainage system during a search, and a camera inspection revealed what appeared to be a second skull inside of a pipe. The following day, a more thorough search uncovered 14 additional human bones in the surrounding area. Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis confirmed that the recovered remains did consist of bone fragments. The medical examiner later determined that the remains belonged to 3 children between the ages of 3 and 7, and indicated that the bones may have been at the site for several years. So I'm not sure who these children are. Of course, they can't say because they are minors until I guess everything is complete, investigation and everything is completed. Not sure who these children are, how they were unalived, but obviously it sounds like someone was trying to hide some evidence by putting them in the drainage system, probably. Who knows? Hopefully they catch the person that has something to do with this, because that's 3 children. Oh my God, 3 children. And we just heard about 8 children the other day. Protect the children. All right, let's move along, honey. All right. Brian McKnight is still out here suing, honey. Brian McKnight is still out here suing, and Tasha K has caught herself up in another lawsuit. I don't think she can take no more, but Let's go ahead and get into it. According to the girls are fighting because baby, they are fighting. All right. Brian McKnight sues over allegations that he refused to tell his dying son that he loved him. Brian, are you hurting for money? Because that's what it's giving. It's giving that you might be hurting for money and you are looking for any single solitary thing to be up and suing somebody for. Now, let's not forget, a few weeks ago, you came out trying to sue Ricky Smiley for saying that he said something on the show that you thought was just so egregious that you had to go down there to your lawyer's office and file a lawsuit. I think that's already been dismissed and or dropped. But now he's over here on Tasha K. Now he's coming for bloggers and anybody that he feels says something that he doesn't like. And now he's trying to get all these defamation lawsuits out there. So he claims that Tasha K spread online misinformation. Now, this is not the first that we've heard Tasha K doing that. All right, let's not forget about the case between she and Cardi B, where she's been sued owing $4 million for putting out lies and defamation on her. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into what it's saying. I hope she didn't lie on him because I don't think you have any more money to be just handing out over lies. Okay, girl. R&B singer Brian McKnight has filed a lawsuit alleging that he is the target of an online smear campaign involving false and damaging claims about his personal life and family, including statements related to his late son. All right. According to TMZ reporting, McKnight claims that a false narrative has been circulated online suggesting that he abandoned his children and failed to support or express love towards his son during his final days. It goes on to say the lawsuit alleges that these claims have been repeatedly shared and amplified across social media platforms, blogs, and online commentary. The filer reportedly referenced several individuals and media figures connected to the spread or discussion of these claims, including McKnight's ex-wife and son. He's been after Julie McKnight, which is his ex-wife. He's been trying to sue her and get any type of money he can out of her, as well as online personalities such as Tasha K and commentator Mark Lamont Hill. Media outlets, including the New York Post, are also mentioned in connection with coverage of the narrative. This nigga trying to get money everywhere. Now, in addition to disputing claims connected to his son, McKnight also accuses Tasha K of making separate false statements online, including allegations that he was unfaithful and had sexual contact with a minor. Ooh, that might be Tasha. I hope you got receipts on that, honey, because if you don't, girl. Now, the lawsuit asserts those claims were defamatory and unsupported. McKnight is seeking monetary damages for alleged reputational harm, though the exact amount has not been publicly disclosed in available reporting. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? Let me know. Tasha K is being sued yet again. Let's get into this Dr. Heavenly news. So the man that was in the District 13 seat has passed away. A lot of people saying, oh, does that mean the Heavenly is just going to win that or just going to just automatically be put in that seat? Absolutely not. There are 6 other Democrats that are running for District 13 as well. In addition to Heavenly, I know you probably didn't know that because she's been out here campaigning, child boots on the ground, everywhere from the damn airport to everybody's church. She ain't been to church so much in her damn life. But she's also stepped down from having a more permanent, well, not permanent role, but a more full-time role on Married to Medicine to being a friend of, so that she can focus on her candidacy. Okay, so Married to Medicine's Dr. Heavenly Kimes speaks out after her congressional opponent, David Scott, dies days before voting begins. All right, so she did issue a statement saying as of April the 22nd, that was yesterday, we are deeply saddened by the passing of Congressman David Scott. His lifelong commitment of public service and to the people of Georgia's 13th district leaves lasting legacy that will not be forgotten. For decades, Congressman Scott was a dedicated advocate for his community, working to uplift families, support economic growth, and champion issues that matter to the people that he served. His leadership, resilience, and steady presence made a meaningful impact not only across the district, but throughout the state of Georgia. She said that we extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, loved ones, colleagues, and all who was touched by his life and work. May his legacy continue to inspire and may he rest in peace. Dr. Heavenly Kimes signs off, candidate for Congress, Georgia 13. So she's up for his seat. He has passed away as of yesterday, and she did make a post about that. But there are other 6, in addition to Heavenly, running for that same seat. So we're going to have to wait to see what happens now, okay? We're going to have to wait to see what happens. I know a lot of people said, I'm about to vote for her. Let's get into what her husband has to say, because now he's saying he support her when he initially says that he did not want her to run for office because of all of the backlash and things that would open up within their family. You know, when you become a public figure, you run for office and, you know, or become a celebrity, whatever the case may be, people start to dig into your life, you know, and they start to be nosy. And that is something that he did not want. He was saying that he told Heavenly initially not to run for this, not to be a part of this, because he did not want the backlash or the scrutiny that comes with it. But she continued on because it's something she wanted to do. But now he's having a different tune in terms of saying he definitely supports Heavenly, and he endorses his wife for Congresswoman, Georgia District 13. Let's get into Dr. Shark Teeth. Shout out to Housewives from a Housewife.
I wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys about something that's really dear to my heart. I'm Dr. Damon Christian Kimes. I'm not speaking as a politician. I'm speaking as a husband. For over 25 years, my wife has been showing up. She's been serving people, creating jobs, and changing lives. And right now, we're tired of politics. We're tired of the things that are happening in Washington, and we're tired of decisions being made without considering the people first. That's not Heavenly. She's real. She's a fighter. You know her as a fighter. She will not be silent when it comes to our families and our people. I trust her with my life, and she's proven that a few times. I trust that she will fight for your life. Vote for Dr. Heavenly for Congress. Not only do you get her as a congresswoman, but you get me as a congresswoman's husband who will work tirelessly to help her do the great job for you. And if you don't already know, she is an incredibly hard worker. So vote for Dr. Heavenly. Thank you.
Do you trust her with your teeth? Because you still ain't got them done. You trust her with your life, but you don't trust her with your teeth. All right, I'm looking at them. You still ain't got them done. And she is a dentist, all right? So I don't know. I don't know if you have full support over there. I don't know. You trust her with your life, but you ain't laid back on that little chair over there and let her get them teeth up out of there so you can get them fixed. But go on. We'll take it, right? What that mean? I don't know. All right, let's move along. Okay, y'all know we a little shady over here, child. A little shady. Just a little shade, a little palm tree in the show. I trust her with my life, but these motherfucking teeth down here, the fucked up ones on the bottom. Nah, she ain't gonna be able to touch them. All right, that's what you just said. That's what I got out of that, at least. But let's get into it. Kevin Hart's wife is out here, girl, with the full-on audacity where she is getting ready. They're saying that she is gearing up to file for divorce from Kevin Hart because Kevin, child, is shelling out too much money to his children from Tori Hart, his ex-wife. Now, she's saying your other kids with Tori, they are grown. Our kids are still minors, and it's time for you to cut off that financial supply to your grown kids and put that money towards our kids. That's what she's saying. So Kevin Hart's wife, Aniko Hart, has allegedly filed for divorce from Kevin Hart because he keeps sending money to his older children. She don't like it. She said, Now, the word on the street is that he's been shelling out an estimated $30,000, okay, to his kids. Now, he just purchased his daughter, who is in college. She's doing very well. His son is doing very well as well. He just purchased her a very, very nice luxury car. So I'm pretty sure she was probably upset about that, too. Stop pocket watching. Those are his children. Those are your stepchildren. If he wants to do for his biological children that he had with his first wife, I see nothing wrong with that. Kids, whenever they grow up and go to college, they're going to need some financial assistance here and there. College is hard. They're learning. You know, you don't want them to have to worry about anything and more so focus on education and getting their degree and moving on to the next chapter in their lives. But this girl here on the screen, it gives that she's only focused on the money. So Kevin Hart's wife, Aniko, has allegedly filed for divorce from Kevin Hart because Kevin Hart keeps sending money to his older children. Now, according to the story, the disagreement centers on child support. It said that Aniko says is said to have pushed for Kevin to stop sending money for his older children, Kevin Hart and Hendrix Hart, whom he shares with Tori Hart, okay, his ex-wife. Now, she reportedly believes that they are now grown and able to support themselves after finishing high school. Instead, she wants that money, estimated around $30,000, redirected towards her younger kids, Kenzo Hart and Kayari Hart, who are still young. What do you guys think about that? I think he's giving them like this allowance every month, and it's very generous, I hear, to his kids, so that they don't have to worry about any financial, issues or situations. And she is upset about that. Now, I find this to be very crazy. Bitch, you ain't filed for divorce when he cheated on you multiple times. I mean, he was out cheating when he was, from what they say, let's say allegedly, because I don't want to be getting sued out here too. But from what was said, he was out. Y'all remember he got into that really bad accident, and it was said he was out cheating then. Like you've heard several things about Kevin Hart out here being caught cheating, and several infidelity stories about him, but she never once went down there and filed no damn divorce. Filed for divorce for that. Like, you sat back and cried and still showed up on the red carpets and still had your ring on and smiling in pictures like you didn't give absolutely no dams and absolutely no fucks. But now that this man is still trying to do what any man should do, which is take care of their children. I don't give a hot damn if they are in college. They're still his children. If they say, Dad, if they call and say, Dad, I'm having a financial difficulty, I need this or that, he should be able to help his children, and you not get mad and say, well, I'm going to go file for divorce then, because I feel that money should go to our kids. Like, right? I just find it very weird that you, of all the times that he publicly embarrassed you with the infidelities and cheating on you, and you just sat there and cried publicly and privately, but you never went and filed for divorce then. So why is it that when there's a money issue, are you married to him for the money? That's my question. Are you only there for the money and the lifestyle? And our men, and you can date who you want to, marry who you want to. See, that's why you need a good, strong sister beside you that's going to be there and understand. So you left your ex-wife, who was a good sister, who had your back, who helped you in your career when you didn't have shit. And that's what I be trying to say with these guys. You want to go out here and get this arm candy, and all they want really is the lifestyle. They like driving these nice cars, living in these nice, beautiful mansions, being able to take luxury trips, being on yachts, being able to be on red carpets and stand there and smile on your arm. But the woman who stuck by you when you didn't have a damn thing, when you probably eat oodles and noodles for breakfast, lunch, and motherfucking dinner, you left her. Talk shit about her and marry this girl here who you then wound up cheating on and embarrassing her. And now she don't even want you to take care of your children because she wants it all to go to herself. That's selfish. That's selfish. Your children, you never stop doing for your children. You never stop doing for your children. My son could be a grown man if he called me and say, Mommy, I need this. I got you. You're my son. I'm not going to see you suffer. It's none of your business what he does for his older children. You're not their mother. You're not their mother. I get it, you are the wife. But if y'all put in the chat, let me know what y'all think about it. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Kevin Hart is wrong for still supporting and giving his adult children who are in college and have graduated high school, if he decides out of his money to give them an allowance every month so that they don't have to worry about financials here and there. They're probably paying for apartments. Hope not car payment if he gave it to her as a gift, but just not having to worry about the strain of life, trying to go to college. College can be very expensive. I'm pretty sure they're in the best of schools, right? But he wants the very best for his children. He can afford it. He's a celebrity. He has very low money. I don't see why he should not be able to give them an allowance of whatever he chooses to give them. So for you to get upset and choose to walk away from your marriage over that, but you didn't choose to do that over infidelity, over your life, your health being threatened by this man stepping out with multiple women and coming back home laying with you. You've had children since we heard about infidelity. So that lets me know you're sleeping with him unprotected. We don't know if he slept with these women unprotected, but just the thought of your husband being outside and being caught publicly, video cameras, pictures popping up and social media posts about your husband being unfaithful to you, and also trying to cover up an accident because he didn't want people to know where he really was, because it was alleged he was out cheating when that happened. You chose to stay there and put up with that, but he wants to be a father, and you have a problem with that, and you want to walk away from that. I would divorce her ass, right? I would go down there and file and say, yeah, you don't need to be here no more. You're not here for me. You're here for the money, okay? You shouldn't be worried about that. Put in there what y'all think. Put in there what y'all think. We're gonna move along, all right? I don't want to stay on this too long. It's the nerve of you, child. So it's okay to cheat, but he want to be a father, and I'm a file for the girl. Get the fuck out of here. You look crazy. What kind of drugs you on? What kind of weed you smoking? How many lines you sniffed today? Crazy ass. You know how many men out here who don't take care of their kids, don't give them a fucking dollar. If he chooses to give them an allowance, I applaud that. He's doing any man should do. Hell, doing what any man should do. I'm pretty sure your children are well taken care of. I don't think they want for anything. Okay, they don't need allowances. Now they're children, they're small, right? Good morning, Sunshine Rays. Thank you. He ain't wrong for that. Hell no. All right, so according to the Neighborhood Talk, Russell Brand, who is a comedian, admits to sleeping with a 16-year-old when he was 30. Now, y'all know he's facing charges for statutory RAPE, or grape, as YouTube allows us to say, among other things, as well as he like minors, obviously. He says that it was explorative and selfish, and his answer for doing this is to say that I was a lot younger and immature. 30 is a grown-ass man. I'm sorry. Okay. If you were 18, we might have said, okay, yeah, he was still a teenager, maybe, you know, but you were 30 messing with a 16. What does a 30-year-old see in a 16-year-old? I mean, you're old enough to be that person's father, right? Let's go ahead and get into him, because he is definitely in a lot of trouble. And this interview don't make it look no better for you to sit up and admit that you were 30 years old and you were exploring being with a 16-year-old. R. Kelly Jr.
In fact of it is that in Europe and in the United Kingdom, where I'm from, the age of consent is 16. And I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger, and I was an immature 30-year-old. Consensual sex, actually, with a variety of people, when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man that has the ability to attract women that I had at that time, I think involves exploitation. I think it is exploitative. I recognize that my sexual conduct in the past was selfish, and I did not apply enough consideration, barely any, I suppose, really, to how that sex was affecting other people. The only matter that I would contest, while acknowledging, firstly, your right to be angry, plain fact of it is that in Europe and in the United Kingdom, where I'm from, the age of consent is 16. And I
wouldn't give a hot damn if the age of consent was 16, just morally. Do we not have morals anymore? I think people have just really thrown morals out of the window and hit the gas. Okay, like morals is in the rear view right now. You don't even have fucking morals at 30. We're really not going to use that as an excuse to say that I was immature in my 30s, because 30, you are fully grown, fully know right from wrong. I don't care what the rules and regulations are in London to say that a 16-year-old can consent. I think they need to up that age, because you are still a child. You are still a child at 16. Okay, you shouldn't be able to consent to anything, let alone that. For a grown-ass 30-year-old man, is giving pedophilia to me. Like, you standing back watching 16-year-olds and getting hot and bothered over a child when you're a whole full celebrity. I'm pretty sure women throw themselves at you. He's not a bad-looking guy. I mean, for a white guy, he's not a bad-looking guy. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of women, probably men too, trying to holler at you. So why would you resort to wanting to be with a child because London's laws says that the age of consent is 16? It's more, I feel, when I see older men trying to go for younger girls like that. Okay, and we're not going to use that, 16-year-olds, she looked like she was older, or she was fast, or she wanted, or she reciprocated that action from him. No, that's a child. Okay, that's a child. No 30-year-old woman called my house asking to speak to my son. She gonna get cussed the fuck out, among other things, right? That's a child. Mentally, they're not even on the same level that you're on. They don't even think of the 16-year-old ain't even thinking about the same thing a 30-year-old is thinking about, right? They're just not. So it's got to be about control. You want to have mental control. You want to have any other type of control over this child. That's why you're indulging in this inappropriate relationship. You're trying to throw out legalities in terms of saying, oh, legally, they said that, 16, she can consent. But think about morally. Is it right? If you had a child that was 16 and a 30-year-old came to your door, knocked on your door and say, I'm here to pick up your 16-year-old child, would that be okay, even though the law says they can consent? What the hell? would not be okay with that. Y'all don't know. It's I don't know, but he is facing charges. He is facing charges because even though London says that, from what I read, you were in the U.S. and I don't think that the U.S. Has no consent for no damn 16. So you should stay your ass in London where the consent is 16. That's all I'm saying. You are facing charges, sir, for statutory and pedo behavior. But let's move along. Let's move along, child. Let me take down the trigger. We don't need it. That is horrible. I can't imagine. That's nasty. It's gross. It's ill. It's all of that. Hell no. Hell no. That's that Hollywood bullshit, though. Y'all see they're trying to get Clive Davis ass, too. I saw Rod Digger, not to get off topic. Shout out to rapper Rod Digger. She said, hey, whatever happened to the damn documentary for Clive Davis pedo ass out here? Whatever happened to him? Why y'all didn't do one on him? Y'all got one of Diddy. You got one of everybody else. But yeah, what about Clive Davis? Because he was on some bullshit there, too. Right? I agree. Put it out there, child. 50 Cent, are you busy? Because we need another documentary. You did real good on that Diddy documentary. Go ahead and get on Clive Davis' ass right quick. I'll watch it. Let's get into the next one. Clarissa Shields says, y'all know that she also, since we're talking about 50, she filed a lawsuit against 50 Cent for defamation, among other things, after she hopped in a argument between two men that had nothing to do with her man-faced ass. Yes, I said it. Please don't nobody get in my comments trying to check me on that because I don't feel like it today, okay? But so she says that she sits down in an interview and she says that she will drop her lawsuit with 50 Cent if he gets into the ring with Papoose. So now you want to see him fight. What is wrong with her? She said the Papoose will whoop 50, and everyone from New York knows that Papoose got hands. Huh? Well, we do know that he knocked out Easy to Block for talking slick and mentioning Remy Ma. And, being out of line. So he did knock him out. We do know that. All right. And that's, that don't mean you can fight because you knock somebody out. If you catch them off guard and they looking that way and not paying attention and you just walk up to them and just punch them. I mean, you successfully knock somebody out. Does that necessarily mean that you can fight because you knocked them out? No, that just means they weren't paying attention when you swung on them. But bottom line here is I think that this is stupid. I think that Papoose and 52 grown men were having words back and forth, and that should have been all that it was. I get it. You're his woman. Let two grown men hash it out and fight. If my husband is arguing with a man, I don't have shit to say. I feel like he got it. But Clarissa, I think that you think because you're a boxer that you are also masculine as well as feminine and that you need to hop in something because you feel like you can fight. No, two men arguing should just be that. Women need to learn how to be women, and you will never be a match for another man. And we need to understand that. Stop running up in men's face. Stop challenging a man because they have their strength is going to always surpass yours. You have some men out here nowadays that will knock you out and not think nothing about it. They will put hands upon you and not give a boiling damn about you, your feelings. You calling the police. When you wake up and call them, they don't give a damn. They'll probably knock your ass out again. So women, stop running up on, stop swinging on, stop challenging, stop trying to be out here being in a man's place when it comes to being a woman. Stop doing that. I see so many videos on TikTok and YouTube where girls, women running up on men and they swinging on them like they're a man. And that shit is fucking inappropriate because you should be taught not to do that. But what do you do when a woman come up on you and throw hands on you? You got to defend yourself. But this right here, behavior where you saying fight Papoose and I'll, if you fight Papoose, I'll drop the lawsuit. Girl, get out of here. Given you don't have anything else to do, Clarissa, like 50 Cent is out here making money. He just opened his G Units conglomerate down in New Orleans, trying to get that up off the ground. He's a businessman. This man is not trying to be out here fighting anyone. Okay, but I'm sorry that's all you think about is fighting and eating like a pit bull. But bottom line, girl, I don't think you have a defamation lawsuit anyway, because like I said, you started with him. You should have stayed your ass up out of it. Let me move on, child, because she irritated me. All right, Erica Campbell, let's talk about her. You guys know she and her Warren are getting ready to renew their vows. And she takes us on a journey where she is looking for the dress. All right. So she says, say yes to the dress. Erica Campbell secures her dress for her 25th wedding anniversary. A lot of people saying, well, this came at a bad time since your sister Tina has announced that she is getting divorced by way of her husband, Teddy Campbell, filing divorce after he cheated on her multiple times. We talked about that. But Erica is going forward, as she should, with her renewal of her vows with Warren Campbell, who she also went through infidelities year one in their marriage. He stepped out and cheated on her. she decided to stay with him after Tina, her own sister, told her, girl, go get a divorce from this nigga, divorce him. And she stayed with her husband and allowed him to cheat for another 7 years or so. But anywho, so Erica says yes. It says yes, Erica Campbell is celebrating her upcoming wedding anniversary of being married to Warren Campbell for 25 years. That's impressive. I love it, honey. Said that the Mary artist secured her dress from a Black-owned design house. Let's get into it. The dress was pretty. Let's get into it. Shout out to her and shout out to the Shade Room.
And in 3, 2, 1. Well, I finally made a decision. I found a designer. I kind of feel like she found me, just because the way God orchestrated it, this is who it was supposed to be. So thank you to everybody who submitted. Listen, I got inquiries and sketches from everywhere. My agent, my manager, my sisters, people at church, like y'all sent them everywhere. But I appreciate you so much for reaching out and joining me on this journey. But who I have chosen is NECA of Brides by Nona.
And Lord, okay, no editing. All right, let's see. Why y'all here to play music? It's her daughter, Krista. All right, let's keep going. Beautiful. She's so pretty. I love Erica. Oh, look at that, right? Yes, honey. Yes, yes. Show body, honey. Show body. I love that. I love it. I love it. Ain't that pretty? Yes, honey. Then put you some bling up around there. Get you a cute, well, you already got your little, put you some cute little necklace on right there, honey. Little V-cut. Yes, ma'am. That's cute. Yes, honey. Okay. What y'all think? She's going to be a beautiful bride again. Okay. Right? Beautiful. Come on, Erica. Erica is my favorite from the sisters. I like Tina too. Tina's too mouthy for me, child. Tina got too much going on. But Erica, she's so humble. She's so, you know, she just seems like she's so sweet and just so inviting. I love her music as well. Y'all know she's doing solo music now as well. She's doing very good. She has her Wake Up with Erica morning show that she does is doing very well. So she's out here doing the damn thing. Erica is out here getting it. So shout out to her and congratulations for 25 years, okay, for staying, honey, staying married. Black love. That's what we love over here, honey. I love it. Okay, beautiful dress, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, she cut her hair too. She used to have longer hair. Like she cut her hair. That's cute. Everybody's going with the bob look. Beautiful. I love it. Shout out to her and Warren, though. Okay. Yes, I watched their wedding on Weddings of a Lifetime. Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Go watch it if you guys have it. It's on YouTube. If you're interested, go and watch it on Weddings of a Lifetime. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up for y'all. Let's stop. Let me pull it. Let me find it. Just so, because I know I have some of my older people who watch me. They be like, where can I find it? Let's see. Right quick. Let's see. Okay, so it's gonna be several parts. Oh, they got the other sister too. Okay, that's part 1 or 2. So I'll put this one and then it's gonna lead you to the second part. Okay. Oh, it's so, oh my God. It's like, it was so good. I was just like, oh my God, you could just see the love between the two of them. Now, I don't know how long Warren might have been seeing this girl, because they said 1 year into he and Erica's marriage, he cheated. So was this somebody you knew prior to you and Erica getting married? Or I don't know. But that's the link, okay? And it should lead you to part 2. So it's one of 2 and then 2 of 2, okay? So yeah, congrats to them. I'm happy that they were able to stay together and work it out, okay? Because I do love them. Yes, I do, honey. All right, let's get into Joseline Hernandez. Chanel Combating Court is what her mama named her. Let's get into it, girl. Shout out to the 321 watching me. But before we get into that, my mods are signaling me to have a jam session. So while we're waiting, Let's go ahead and get that in, guys. Please tap on that like button to support the video, to push it into the algorithm. We have 323 watching me right now. We should have absolutely at least 300 likes. Okay, I mean, seriously. All right, we should have at least 300 likes. Please get off my likes. I know you guys are being nosy coming over, but please, please, please. Okay. Come on over there. All right, we back. Let's get into the show. All right, we have only a few more topics. We ain't gonna hold you guys too much longer. So let's get into Joseline Hernandez, where she sparks a debate after referring to her daughter with Stevie J as her husband, Ballistic Beat's daughter. Now we all know that Joseline had a baby with crazy ass Stevie, as she calls him. The V is silent and the B is loud in her mouth. But she says in an interview, she downplays Stevie J being the father of her daughter, Bonnie Bella, and she says that her now husband is the father, maybe because he helps take care of him more. I don't know. You guys know she does not do Stevie J at all now. She don't fool with him. At one point, he did take the child from her. He had custody of her. I don't know how he did it, but he did have custody of Bonnie. She was able to get her child back. But she is pregnant again. Joseline is pregnant again with a second child. And a lot of people are like, girl, hold up. Now, we just knew that Stevie J was this child father. I mean, she does have his whole face and everything. But let's get into what she had to say. Shout out to the grill.
Very humble to be able to do this. I've planned a new baby. I'm pregnant. And, you know, it's my first baby with my husband, Ballistic, even though Bonnie Bella is his daughter. So it's exciting. I'm very humble to be able to do this.
She said she's pregnant. She said, I'm pregnant. And even though my husband, Ballistic, is her father. Okay. Girl, no, that's not the father.
Plan a new baby. I'm pregnant. And, you know, it's my first baby with my husband, Ballistic, even though Bonnie Bella is his daughter. So it's exciting. I'm very humble.
She is pregnant. Keep that in mind, okay? All right. So you guys can see here, new beginnings, and I'm thankful. Congratulations to her, okay? You know, that's the goal. Every woman wants to be a mother. She already has a daughter, but she is married now. So maybe her husband was like, hey, let's have a child together. That's, you know, normal. That's standard. So great for her. I'm happy that she was able to have another child, because she was very shocked when she was pregnant with Bonnie Bella. Okay. We saw that play out on the show where she was sitting on the toilet and did a whole pregnancy test to, you know, show Stevie that she was indeed pregnant. A lot of people were trying to say that she was a dude and that she was a tranny and couldn't have kids. But, you know, ultimately she did have a baby. We saw her have the baby on the show. Okay. That was kind of weird and cringe as well. But yeah, so it said her remarks come from more than a week after announcing an Instagram post that she and Ballistic are expecting their first child together. Shout out to Ballistic for stepping up and being a additional father for Bonnie Bella, okay? Because it takes a village. It does, right? So let's read some comments. They're saying Ballistic don't play about Bonnie. Joseline didn't say anything bad about Stevie, and Ballistic is who Bonnie sees each day as far as a male figure. But we're not going to downplay the fact that Stevie is her father. Okay. Thank you, Ballistic, for stepping up. But don't be in interviews making it seem like Stevie ain't the father, you know, because you mad at him. We don't ever do that, especially when he is there. He's, you know, still getting visitations, still helping out with the child. He is very present in that child's life. So even though Bonnie does stay in the house with you and Ballistic, we're not going to downplay the fact that Stevie is her biological father, right? So this person in Arizona said that she is his daughter. He's raising her with the mother and it's wonderful to her. So she has a lot of fans, obviously. Said the crazy she got pregnant, had an AB by Stevie, got pregnant by him again, LOL. Now she don't want him as the kid's dad, shaking my head. I didn't say it. Okay, she did have an AB though. I remember that. Okay, but shout out to the grill for that. A lot of people, some people had some comments about her doing that interview and making it seem like, you know, Stevie ain't the father, that Ballistic is the father. Again, shout out to him for stepping up and being a bonus dad for Bonnie Bella, because again, it does take a village. But Joseline, we caught that shade, baby. We caught it. Let's get into this next. We are in the reality TV portion of the show. Let's continue on with Messy Monday with Claudia Jordan. All right. So they said that Real Housewives of Atlanta, Blue, Talusma, talks about getting a late diagnosis of neurodivergent, and suspects the same of Portia Williams. So let's get into that. Let's see what they're talking about with Portia.
Portia, and I've suspected this for a very long time. I am someone who got diagnosed as neurodivergent at 41. Portia does a lot of things that I don't agree with, that are conniving, but there are these moments where she looks sincerely like, oh, I didn't read the room. That as an undiagnosed neurodivergent person, there are people who for years superimposed intentions on me when I said tacky shit because I didn't read the room properly. And I've wondered for a very long time if she does have a glimmer of neurodivergence, because the confusion that she has when she's like, oh, that's not what I meant at all, my bad. And then she feels attacked. That's actually something that happens to a lot of undiagnosed neurodivergent Black women, where we say something wrong, we feel bad. Everybody else is saying what Claudia is saying. Well, it's obvious. Everybody would know better. Your brain sincerely doesn't know any better. And now you're feeling offended because you're feeling misunderstood, because they're trying to tell you an intention that doesn't belong to you, even though you actually feel bad about your impact. And so I'm not going to diagnose Portia. I would just say, though, if anybody in her life ever had an opportunity for her to get tested, this scene, actually, the reason why I'm showing her grace is I've been the Portia in this situation, and you were all wrong. I've been the Portia who said something tacky because my brain didn't clock it, and I know better, and my intrusive thoughts won, and now I've said sorry and I meant it, but everybody's adding sauce about my character that's completely false. So I think that's why I'm sensitive to it, because it can actually be a mistake. Portia, and I've suspected this for a very
It could just be that Portia is just a dingbat. I mean, I've never heard of, I'm not a doctor and I'm not trying to diagnose anyone, but I've never heard of neurodivergent. And not to say that it's not something that exists. We do have an April RN, you're in here. Can you give us some insight on that if you know about it, or anyone that's ever heard of it? I've never heard of it, but Portia just comes off as being very slow and detached from reality sometimes. And maybe sometimes she doesn't know that she is saying something that's uncouth or out of line. You know, Portia just seemed to not get it at first whenever it's being talked about, or she just I mean, even when she said the 325 days a year, even Nene was like, bitch, are you all right? Like, we all know there's 365 days in a year, so how you get that? Where 325 come from? And then the whole Underground Railroad, where you thinking it's a whole full-fledged train under their child with smoke and everything under the ground, letting people out under the ground, just crazy shit. I was just like, did she really think that? But then again, we're talking about Portia, right? We are talking about Portia, the same person who married Simon for some money. And now look at you now. The same person was up preaching about homosexuality, and now you're dating a woman. Like, she doesn't always get, Portia don't always get it. She kind of slow like Tasha. Okay, and this is not a dig. I'm just saying, I'm just comparing two slow people. And I'm not going to say who I feel is slower than the other, because they probably, you know, are neck and neck a little bit. But yeah, I feel like she's a little slow a little bit. She don't always catch it. Like Tasha said on the show the other day, I always catch that shade. The D is silent. You do not always catch the shade. Your husband shades you all the time and you don't catch it. But with Portia, it takes her a while. It's like, and she doesn't read the room. She just does not. Like she said with K. Michelle, you could tell that was a very personal conversation she and K. Michelle said when K. Michelle was sharing that she had liquid that was dripping out of her backside from her having the butt implants and injections, and she was getting ready to perform. Immediately, Portia says, "Oh, was it a were you having a were you losing your baby? Were you having a miscarriage?" Obviously that was a personal conversation. K. Michelle was upset because she and Portia are friends, and that is something she shared with her in confidence, but she blurted it out in front of everybody, and she saw nothing wrong with it. And she just didn't get it, even though Kay was like, girl, hello, that's something you and I talked about. If I would have wanted them to know, I would have said it in front of them, but she just didn't get it. And even when they had a one-on-one sit down, she was still looking like, I still don't get it. So maybe she just really don't get it. Maybe she might have, neurodivergence? Maybe she might have that and maybe need to go and be diagnosed properly to see what it is. Or maybe just see if it's a brain up there, or maybe she just has a head up there for entertainment. Maybe ain't shit up there in her head. It's just, just a round circle with a lace front. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Child. Some people just have heads for decoration. Some people just have heads for decoration. Don't be shit up there. And Portia comes off as being some of those people, child. Okay. All right, let's move along. What's that mean? I don't know. Portia do come off slow though. She do. Let's get into the next topic. Shamea talks about the frustration of her husband, Gerald, not wanting to be supportive with her filming on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She wants that family dynamic. She wants people to see, hey, I'm married. Look at my husband, how we have this family dynamic, how we roll over here, how we get things done. My husband is in HVAC. He's very successful. This is our home. Like, she wants that. She has her peach this season. So she's trying to be like any of the other housewives, like Angela Oakley and her husband, Charles. She wants people to come into their home, see the two of them interact. But the problem with that is that her husband, from day one, he told her, I don't want shit to do with no damn TV show. I'm a businessman. I want to focus on that, just being a husband and a father to our kids. I don't want no parts. But he will pop up sporadically, as he did on the last episode. They went on a walk to take their baby on a walk in the stroller. He was very uncomfortable. You can see it all over him. But Shamea, it's like she keeps trying to push him in situations to film, and he doesn't like it. He's already told you, this is your thing. You go film. Leave me out, okay? But she talks about how she was kind of disappointed how he just got up and walked the fuck out and got in the car and peeled out right in the middle of them getting ready to film a scene, because he just doesn't want to do it. And she feels a way about it because, the other husbands on the show support their wives, and she just kind of feels like it's just her trying to pull this storyline on her own. Let's get into it. Let's go. Shout out to Housewives from Housewives.
Hanging out with the girls. So they came and they were like, okay, well, we're gonna come over and just do a test shoot with you, your husband, your kids.
Right.
Maybe they got there. He saw them cameras go up. I started getting like, they're like, we'll mic you next. We looked out the window. Gerald was pulling out the driveway.
He did.
And they were like, well, we're already here. We might as well just go ahead and shoot you and the kids and your, family and just see how it goes. And they did. And I guess they felt like y'all are enough without him.
Right.
So that's how I got into the first season of it. And he came to like my birthday party, which was like the season opener for 16. Right. He, made other appearances. I did a cheer and dance camp that he attended. And so he would pop in here and there.
Okay.
But as far as like full on storyline of me and him, he was like, that's not my man.
He ain't feeling it.
No, he ain't feeling it. But thank God I was able to still do it. Showcase my music,
right?
Just my family, like even just down to my little Shiloh, who's been such a blessing in my life with all the things that she's gone through. Just showcasing NICU babies and just the journey it takes, and that's the I don't know, like the challenges of raising a special needs child. I think that's something that's not really talked about. Hanging out with the girls. So this.
She's feeling a little way because he doesn't want to really have any parts of that. She was really hoping that, hey, I got my peach now. Something she's been wanting for a very long time. Y'all know she's been a friend of on Real Housewives of Atlanta forever. And she finally got married and had her kids, has this whole family dynamic. She's like, oh my God, what better way to go ahead and put my stuff out there. She has her music out there now, and she's trying to do some acting and other things on the side. She's trying to get her business stuff going. And she wants her husband to be supportive, but he's just not feeling it. He's camera shy. You can tell when they put the camera on him and like zoom in, he's like, it's like awkward. He just does not want to be on camera, but she keeps putting him in situations to where he films and he just don't like, even when they filmed her birthday, when he gave her the new car, He was very nervous. You could tell. And I'm just like, Shamea, I don't want you to fuck this up, girl. If your husband is saying he don't want to do this shit, like maybe step back from the show or be a friend of again. Just don't fuck it up. Your husband got enough money for you guys to live very, very wealthy and live well. The way you don't have to worry about no Real Housewives of Atlanta shit. And I know she wants her own, and you can still build and have your own and still be on the show sporadically and kind of show things. But you have a daughter that's special needs. You have other things. You're trying to have another baby, which is going to have you more busy. And your husband is saying to you, like, I need you to slow it down. I need you home with me. He don't like the filming because it's the grueling hours that it takes to film scenes. And then y'all are on girls' trips away. So that could be very challenging for him too. You guys are still kind of newlyweds or whatever. So I don't know. It's like a catch-22. I'm all for women being independent and having their own, even in a marriage. I'm that way as well. But I don't want her to mess around because y'all know reality TV is a curse. It can be a curse when it comes to marriages. And I don't want to turn on my TV or look on my phone and say Shamea and Gerald have decided to get divorced for whatever reason. I mean, I just don't want to see that shit. It's a beautiful family. You got a beautiful life. I would not fuck it up. Right? What do y'all think? I don't know. I'm pulling for them. I love this for her. She's finally gotten something. I feel like that's probably why she and Portia are just not cool like they used to, because Portia kind of see her life in Shamea. Like Portia wanted that shit. She wanted to be married to Simon and live in this huge house, driving the nice cars. And here comes Shamea, the friend of who nobody was really looking at, right? Almost like a Cinderella story. Like y'all know how Cinderella. I don't want to think about no damn Cinderella. She won't know how to think about her damn Cinderella. Cinderella went out here, child, put that dress on and went to the ball and just took over. And now she and Portia are in a very, very bad space, friendship-wise, and it's horrible. So shout out to Shamea. I really hope that they can figure it out. But girl, your husband is saying to you, what other way does he need to say it? By going to get in his car in the middle of filming a scene with you to say, I don't want this shit, right? Y'all sound out, child. Girl, I wouldn't mess that up. I saw y'all house. Y'all got what, 3, 4, 5 cars in the driveway, baby. I would not mess that up. Hell no. All right. And anything that you want, labels, you wear labels to bed, going to the store, take your dog walking, girl, you Gucci down to the socks every time we see you. I would not fuck that up. But let's get into something that's very effed up out here. Kim and Kroy, I'm sick of them, but they are viral news. So let's go ahead and get into them. 353 watching me. Thank you for being here. All right. According to the neighborhood talk, Kroy Biermann now wants permanent full custody of his kids, claims that Kim Zolciak is harmful to their children. Now, you guys know he just filed a motion weeks ago to get temporary custody of the kids because he says Kim is not doing what she needs to do for the kids. She's always out of the country. She's dating this married man. She's just too fixated on her own life versus being a mother to their multiple kids. They got a bunch of kids, right? And she's also borrowing money from her other daughter from her savings. She said, damn, mama done drained my savings account with her expensive lifestyle, always begging and whatever. But she is dating this married millionaire who has also pulled her into the lawsuit for his divorce with hers. It's a hot mess. Let's not forget, yesterday we found out Big Papa died. We covered that. So child, I don't know. Let's get into it. So I said, it looks like things between Kroy Biermann and Kim Zolciak took another turn, child, for the worse. Now, according to TMZ, shout out to them and Neighborhood Talk, Kroy is now asking the judge to give him permanent full custody of their children, their 4 minor children. In new court filings, he's accusing Kim of neglect and says that her behavior is harmful to the kids and not in their best interest. My Lord. Says right now, the custody setup has them splitting the kids with 2 staying with each parent and then rotating. But Kroy seems to, or Kroy claims that that arrangement hasn't been working, saying that the children are rarely together as a full group. I can get that. They are young, they want to all be together and play together. Said he's also alleging that Kim is unstable and unfit as a parent and says that he has evidence to back it up. Now, in his filings, Kroy reportedly argues that all 4 kids should be under one roof instead of going back and forth. That can be a lot, okay? That can be a lot. Said that this comes after Kim previously had her custody temporarily suspended until she completed a court-ordered therapy sessions. Kroy says that that she's finished those sessions, but he still believes that the kids would be better off primarily with him. So. Meanwhile, said that Kim's legal team is shutting all of this down. Her lawyer says that Kroy's claims are not supported by facts and plans to fight it out in court instead of in the media. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Kroy's like, listen, it's y'all know this has been a back and forth with them for quite some time. We've covered it several times over here with TMZ has several videos of Kroy standing outside of their neighborhood in their driveway screaming at Kim to the top of their lungs, to where their young child had to call 911 because they were scared that dad had done freaked out and lost his damn mind or was going to hurt mom. Kim was, having this real bad gambling addiction where she done blew through all his savings and retirement and shit. So Kroy's just literally lost it. But had he listened to his parents who said, don't marry that whore, don't marry her, and you did the shit anyway, I mean, what do you think you were gonna get? All right, Kim loves a man with money, and she done had all those kids to secure the bag. But Kroy said, hell no, I'm gonna get these damn kids, and the little bit of money I do still have, I'm gonna raise them on my own. Surprise up, child. Hope they figured it out. They're still not legally divorced as of yet. Okay, they are still not legally divorced in the middle of this bullshit. But let's get into this last piece of news that I know you guys gonna be able to use. Labberick and Destiny. Labberick is taking Destiny back to court, and he is requesting jail time for her. Shout out to T from TV. She has allowed the documents to be shared. So shout out to her for that. She did initially pull them. So we're going to go ahead and, before we get into that, I do have an update on Portia, since we did talk about her, about that house. Before we get into the court documents, let me spin the block on that. All right. Let's get into that. Portia. All right, so this is the house she and Simon shared when Simon, before he got deported or whatever, that the two of them were living in with Portia's young daughter, Pilar. Let's get into the update on that in terms of the legalities of this home and in terms of what they've told her she has to do by a certain time. Y'all know she was ordered to either refinance this home by a certain time, or she has to move out. She has to sell this home and split the earnings from the house with Simon 50-50. So let's get into what they're saying, because there's a new order here. All right. So according to the order, it said the Portia Williams is ordered to refinance or vacate the marital home by February 26th of 2027. So they pushed it back because initially it was supposed to be September. So it looks like they've given her a little bit more time from September of 2026 to now February 2027. So a judge has reportedly given Portia Williams until February 26 to refinance the marital residence, reportedly valued at $7 million, solely onto her name, or vacate the property. The estate is currently titled under the estranged husband, Simon Gubadia, who has publicly stated that he is not covering any mortgage payments, taxes, or household expenses tied to the home. The mortgage is $12,500 a month on that home, which she's been very much so struggling to pay. She, when we originally talked about it, she was a few months behind on said home and was looking at foreclosure, but was asking the banks to please be lenient and allow her to pay and or catch up those payments once Real Housewives of Atlanta started airing, because then her checks would start to accumulate to where she could catch the house up. Let's continue. From a financial perspective, refinancing a property of that value is no small task. A $7 million home will likely require a substantial income, strong credit profile, and significant liquidity. Liquidity. I can't say that word. To qualify independently. Said that even with equity involved, which they have to split 50-50 once the house is sold, lenders assess debt to income ratio, consistent earnings, and long-term financial stability. It's also important to note that while the Real Housewives of Atlanta is a high-profile platform, Bravo salaries alone typically would not cover the carrying cost of the multi-million-dollar estate without additional income streams, which y'all know she does have her bedding business. She does have her hair business, which I hear is doing very well. But is that going to be enough to sustain her finances, enough to get this house in her name is the question. All right, let's continue. Said it's also important to note that while the Real Housewives of Atlanta is a high-profile platform, Bravo salaries alone typically would not cover the carrying cost of a multi-million-dollar estate without additional income streams, investments, or business revenue. Mortgage payments, mortgage taxes, insurance, maintenance, and staffing for a luxury property can easily total tens of thousands per month. She can't even pay the $12,500 mortgage. That ain't even the cost of everything else that goes with it. So she might not be able to afford this home. I said a long time ago, girl, sell this shit and get the fuck out of there, because you are biting off more than you can chew, trying to keep up with the damn Joneses. All right. So legally, the court's position is straightforward. If Portia wants to retain the home, she must qualify to assume full responsibility financially. If financing is not feasible, selling the property and dividing the proceeds according to the court order becomes practical alternative. Now they're asking the question of, do you think that refinancing a $7 million property is realistic in this situation, or would selling the house be the smarter financial move? Of course, we've already talked about this before, and selling the home would be smarter because she can't even afford the mortgage, right? Shit, girl, move. Beautiful home, beautiful estate, but yeah, I think she was banking on once she filed for divorce, once Simon got locked up, that she was still going to get that $40K a month, and that would put her where she needed to be financially. But Simon is not complying with that. He's not paying anything, taxes or nothing. So he's left all of that on her, and she's struggling to make these payments to stay in this house. Get out of this house, girl. It's beautiful, but you cannot afford it. You should have moved back to your home that you sold, the $2 million house that was completely paid for, where you could have just made renovations and kept it moving. But girl, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Let's get into this Destiny and Labberick news, because child, he trying to get her ass locked up. He trying to get her locked up. So we're going to look through these court documents, and you guys, child, oh Lord, it's draining. Destiny. Okay? Jesus. All right. Let me put this down so I can focus, because y'all know my reading skills be very superb up over here. All right, let's go. According to the Circuit Court of Madison County, again, shout out to T from TV for pulling these documents, okay? The credit goes to her. If you guys also want to go check out her video and run her likes up, please do so and support. All right, so Madison County, Alabama, case number DR 2020-900600-03. Labberick D. Williams, which is the plaintiff, versus Destiny L. Williams, which is the defendant. Amended counter petition for contempt and counter petition to modify. I'm sorry, it's my money. To modify. All right, let's get into what it says. Comes now the plaintiff, Labberick Williams, by and through the undersigned counsel, in files the following amended counter petition for contempt and counter petition to modify in his actions, or this actions. Now, number one said that the parties hereto were divorced by judgment of the court hereafter the prior decree on or about April 12th of 2021. Thereafter, the prior decree was modified by this court's final order or modification in the .01 action between those parties entered on May 1st of 2023, which incorporated the parties' settlement agreement dated April 28th of 2023. Number three goes on to say, most recently, the courts entered a final order in the .02 action between the parties on August 14th of 2024. Although the defendant appealed from said final order, here on number four, the Alabama Courts of Civil Appeals affirmed this court's order and has certified the judgment. Number five then goes on to say that the procedural purposes the father notes to this court that the execution of the final order entered on August the 14th of 2024 was not stayed by order of this court pursuant to the Alabama Rules of Civil Procedure. Number six goes on to say that further, the final order was not stayed pending appeal under the Alabama Rules of Appellate Procedures, as the defendant's mother failed to obtain and post a superseded bond with the filing of her notice of appeal, despite the fact that she claimed to this court that she had done so. So you lied to the courts, Destiny. You lied to the courts, according to what this says. Number seven goes on to say that as a result of the mother's failure to duty obtain and post said supersedes bond, the final order was in effect and the parties were obligated to follow said order, with interest accruing on the judgment entered therein and not paid by the mother. So y'all know that huge amount of money that Destiny was supposed to pay, almost $20,000 she was ordered to pay by such date back in 2024. She did not pay that, and she has refused to pay a dime, so she is now held in contempt. Let's keep going. He ain't letting it go, obviously. Counter petition for contempt. Number 8 says that since the entry of the most recent final order, the petitioner mother has willfully and deliberately refused to abide by said decree and final orders as follows. The first dot here goes on to say that by interfering with the father's telephone contact with the minor child, you guys know that they are sharing custody with their son-in-law when he is with each parent. There are certain things that are put into the order that each parent has to follow. It's saying here Destiny is not doing that. The next one goes on to say that by withholding the minor child from the father, which she's already been ordered not to do in their last court date when she went acting a fool, crying and carrying on like somebody did something to her, and otherwise refusing to allow him to exercise his custodial time. Okay, he has custody as well. She's not allowing him to do so. By refusing to provide makeup time to the father for the custodial time that he was not able to exercise as a result of the mother's actions. By repeatedly being late for custodial swaps, we've been hearing about that for quite some time. I talked about that the last time I covered it. She's intentionally doing this to upset Labberick. Now, by repeatedly failing to provide notice or otherwise withholding information related to the child's medical appointments and testing, preventing the father from being able to attend or participate in the same. Labberick does have say-so over medical as well as the schooling. He has 100% decision-making when it comes to law schooling, and he also was supposed to be informed anytime law goes to the doctor, any findings, any medications that he's on. Destiny was supposed to let him know within a certain amount of time of what said doctor said, court documents, doctor documents, whatever the case may be, with said son. She's not done that. By attempting to subvert the father's education decision-making authority by asserting unproven, unagreed medical issues as education issues, including by attempting to obtain a 504 plan for the minor child. Again, you have to tell him because he is in charge of all decision-making as far as his schooling. By repeatedly failing to appear and bring the child to his scheduled medical appointments. Law is on Labberick's medical insurance. He pays for all medical, dental, and all of that. All of the insurance that he has, Labberick does pay that, okay? By preventing the father access to medical information and documentation of the child, including the child's vaccinations records held by the Alabama Department of Public Health. By preventing the father from being able to pick up the child's prescription medication from the pharmacy. If he is sick or whatever, and he is in the custody of his father, Destiny is preventing him, if the child is sick and they have a prescription, from him going to be able to pick that up. Destiny stays kind of far out here from the barrack. And so it would be, stupid for her to have to drive so far when he could just go right there and pick it up. But, again, she's not complying. So let's continue. By failing to provide the father with the results of medical and psychological testing undergone by the child. By harassing the father by the repeated making of unfounded reports with authorities, including law enforcement and the Department of Human Resources. It goes on to say that by failing to satisfy the judgments entered against her in the O2 action, and by making social media posts, holding speaking engagements, and otherwise publishing content that relates to that. Hold up. That implies, relates, or replies relating to the father or his family. Of course, you guys know within their divorce decree, Destiny was ordered not to speak on Labberick on any platform, social media posts, none of that. That was already understood and explained to her. She's still been doing that. So obviously that's against the court order where she's not supposed to do any of that. She's not supposed to do any of that. Okay. Let's keep going, including in connection with her Destiny Law Foundation platform centered on the narrative issue of surviving domestic abuse. So she's been alluding to that she had domestic abuse in her marriage, at which you're not supposed to be speaking on him, period. It's a clause in their divorce decree that says so. The petitioner mother's violations of the prior decree are willful, and therefore the petitioner mother is in civil and criminal contempt of this court. As a result of the petitioner mother failure to abide by the prior decree, the respondent mother has incurred attorney's fees and costs in this action to enforce the terms of said decree. The family and circumstances warrant this. Hold on. This fact and circumstances warrant an award of attorney fees to the respondent father. Let's continue. Counter petition to modify or in the alternative petitioner or petition for declaratory relief says that number 12 goes on to say that the prior decree awarded the parties joint legal custody of the child, with the father possessing decision-making authority in the areas of education, as I just told you guys, civil or civic and extracurricular activities, and the mother possessing decision-making authority in the areas of medical, religion, and culture. Number 13 goes on to say that since the entry of the prior decree, there has been a material change in circumstances which calls for a modification of the prior decree. The father, there's the legal custody is due to be modified to afford him medical decision-making authority, and that such a modification is in the best interest of the minor child. Number 14 goes on to say that the father can introduce evidence which will show that the best interest of the child will be promoted by the requested change in legal custody. Number 15 says the father avers that medical decision-making authority should be granted to him and diverted from the mother, and that such change would be in the overwhelming interest of the child. Labberick ain't playing with her. However, should the court decline to make such modification to legal custody, the father would request in the alternative that this court take up and consider the issue of decision-making authority where the areas of education and medical overlap or are closely related, specifically in the context of individual education plan, which is the IEP plan, or other similar educational tools implemented by the school system. The father requested that the court enter a declaratory judgment determining the rights and obligations of the parents as joint legal custodians of the minor child where matters of education are affected by the mother's exercise of medical decision-making authority. Let's keep going. We're almost to the end. Counter petition for contempt and counter petition to modify, and that upon a final hearing, your honor will grant unto the respondent father the following relief. Number 17 goes on to say that by finding the petitioner to be knowing and willful civil and criminal contempt of the court's prior orders. Number 18 says that by pursuing the petitioner for said contempt as allowed by Alabama law, including 5 days incarceration for each separate act of contempt. He want her locked up. 5 days each for each contempt. Said that by punishing the petitioner for said contempt as allowed by Alabama law by imposing a fine. Child, so all your little love marriage transfer checks about to go to court. Number 20 goes on to say that by revoking the suspension of the sentence of the petitioner's previous conviction of contempt and ordering her incarceration for the term imposed under the final order of the 0.02 action entered by this court. Number 21 goes on to say that by modifying the award of legal custody under the prior decree to afford the father medical decision-making authority as to the minor child, in addition to those categories already held by him, in the alternative by entering a declaratory judgment determining the rights and obligations of the parents as joint legal custodians of the minor child where matters of education are affected by the mother's exercise of medical decision-making authority. Number 22 goes on to say that by awarding the respondent attorney fees and costs incurred in this matter, and by granting any additional relief to which in equity and good conscience the respondent may be entitled in the premises. Okay, that is signed off, as you guys can see here. Okay. John Lusk, okay, attorney for the plaintiff for Labberick, and Hannah Mazel, which is the attorney for Destiny. They signed off here at the bottom of this order. He is asking for Destiny to receive jail time for ignoring the orders that she's received in past court dates and on paperwork where the judge told her you have to have the child there by a certain time. It was brought to my attention that Law does get phone time whenever he is in the custody of Labberick or in the custody of Destiny, and if Labberick calls to speak to him, he does get up to 5 or so minutes with the child, but she is also interfering with that, I'm hearing, and among other things, she is not abiding by what's being asked. When it's time for her to drop him off at a certain time, she's being late all the time. Still, you have to follow the court order. If it says by 6 o'clock, you can't get there at 7:30 and think that nobody can say anything to you or check you on that when the courts have already told you that you have a certain amount of time. He has things he has to do. So who wants to sit for an hour and a half and wait because you want to be bitter and still mad because this man filed for divorce? That's what I'm hearing, that she is still upset and bitter at the fact that he filed for divorce and put some ramifications in place and is still asking her to pay this money when all she had to do was abide by the rules and regulations that they put in place before. She was responsible for half of medical, dental, all of the things, and she did not pay that, and it accrued. So now that he's asking for it on the back end, you sat back and waited till the shit went up to like 19,000 and something that you got to pay. You have to pay that. Now he's asking for court fees, which is going to be on top of the money that he's already asking for that you're in contempt of not paying. You didn't even pay payments on it, Destiny. You didn't pay payments on it, which means you don't give a fuck. You doing what you want to do. And if the courts are telling you that you have to tell him when you take this child to the doctor, what the doctor says, what did they diagnose him as, what medications did they give him? He's the father. You have to communicate. So she's intentionally not communicating, not telling Labberick what's going on with this child and keeping him in the dark, pulling up late to drop-offs, interfering with phone conversations and visitations on purpose because she feels like she can get away with it. And then when they go to court, she starts this crying and falling out and carrying on. As I told you guys, it happened before, whenever she's reprimanded by the judge for doing that. The last time that she kept law away from Labberick and they had to go to court, the judge told her, hand him over to his father, and told Labberick to go ahead and leave the courtroom and go home with the child. Destiny had a freak out moment in court. We covered this already, crying, saying she was afraid for her life. They found, and the judge told her to cut it out. Cut it out. This is bullshit. She was saying she felt that her son was not safe with the father. Like, hello, we've seen videos of Labberick with his son. Like, hello, he is doing what he needs to do as a father. But Destiny is being bitter and she's not cooperating with the courts. And it's going to wind up landing you in jail again. How many times you got to go to jail behind this? How many times? You were ordered to pay this money. You should have paid it. May 1st was their settlement agreement. May 1st was the settlement agreement. She's not followed anything. Anything in the court documents that they've asked her to do, Destiny have done nothing. But you on TV fighting with Tasha. You on TV fighting with Tasha. You're so focused on everything else. All this time, you worried about Moses and everybody else. And you got bigger fish to fry, love. Now I hear that she's trying to get some type of disability for her son, like this, have him on disability, and they're saying ain't nothing wrong with him like that. He does need a little speech therapy because he does have some speech issues, but it's not to the factor where he's just out here needing a crazy chick. Girl, get your shit together. Get your shit together. Now he'd be late to school too, I hear. She's 45 minutes away from his school. Labberick, I hear, is not far from his school at all. So Destiny has to drive about 45 minutes every day to get him to his school. Just crazy shit. Just crazy shit. Doctor's appointments, she'll either be late or they'll have to cancel it. And then she wants him to pay the cancellation fee for her not taking the child at the appointed time he's supposed to be at the doctor's office. Like, girl, whatever happens, I don't care. At this point, it's like a clear-cut order that you've been ordered to do this, and you're just not doing it because you don't want to do it because you're bitter that someone is holding you accountable. You kind of act like Martell a little bit. I see why y'all get along because Martell felt the same way in the situation with Melody, and not to bring them into this because they have nothing to do with it. But of course, Martell was advising her on what to do and file this motion when it's getting ready time for court for them to go to court. File this motion, and then they push it back. He was doing the same thing with Melody. And Destiny started doing the same thing. When it was time for them to go to their last court date about this money that she's supposed to pay him, knowing that she was in contempt, she filed this motion to have her attorney file this motion real quick so she didn't have to show up because she knew she didn't have the money. Just crazy shit playing with the courts. And now Labberick is asking for you to spend 5 days in jail for each contempt that you are facing right now, which could be a lot of time. Like, girl, you just don't get it. Comply. You guys have, how old is this child? 5, 6 years old. You have a very long time to co-parent. Just why not just be amicable and just do the shit? You can't get around it. And when you don't comply, it only puts you in contempt where you are going to be sitting in a jail cell. And then he going to get custody. The very thing you don't want him to have. We already saw you can't handle him, Destiny, anyway. I showed y'all the video when he kept saying, don't unalive me, don't unalive me. And she kept telling him, don't say that. She cannot handle this child. He's wild. He's a wild one, like Knox. Like Ariana's son, he's a wild one like that. Okay. But he does have some issues and some things going on. So, and not that we're talking about a child. I'm just saying these things need to be addressed, and collectively as parents, they got to come together and be able to do that. Nobody should have to be filming. I hear Labberick have to be filming each time they have drop-offs because Destiny will say that he did something he didn't even do and then go down and be filing stuff. And each time that she's filed something, it's been thrown out. So it's like a game. It's like a game that's being played, sound like with the courts. And ultimately, the person that's losing in this is the child. Okay. Ultimately, the person that's losing is the child. So prayers up in this situation. My prayers are up for the child, up for Labberick. Destiny, we already know what time you on. Okay. And if you keep pushing this destiny law situation in terms of saying that this man, AB, used you, if that shit never happened, that's going to be another contempt. Okay. Because he already said, dude, you're not even supposed to be speaking about him. Period. Period. Can I get on your YouTube? Talk, well, I went through this in my man. You're not even supposed to be doing that. And you know it. So you're monetizing off something you know you're not even supposed to be talking about. You don't even own Destiny's Law anyway, because that's something that was already established before you even use the name. Okay. You're lucky you're not being sued for that. But y'all sign off. I don't got no more child. Those are the documents. Again, shout out to D4VD. If you guys want to know more about that, you can head on over to her channel and support and hit the like button on that. Okay. So shout out to her for bringing that to the YouTube streets. And shout out to all of my mods. Thank y'all, Rose Armstead, True TV Podcast, and Tiffany Thomas. Thank y'all for doing an awesome job. Thank you to all the content creators who came up and through here to support as well. You guys know who you are. I really appreciate you. Caramellians in the chat as well as in the bushes. Thank you guys. We almost have 400 in here today. You guys are here. Thank y'all so much for coming in, supporting, keeping it lit. Happy Thursday to everyone. I'll be back later on today for Midday Popping. So please keep your notifications on so you guys will know when we go live. Until the next video, I will see you guys later. All right, let's go.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.